Okay, we're here with our final RTSL game for 2021A. This is organized by George, aka Fruit Strike. Big thank you to him for putting this together. Our opponent is Nahan. This is my final game for the Carter division. Let's go ahead and plug in our hand and say hello. Off the bat, I can see that we've drawn Europe and Marshall Plan, so that's a pretty good start to things. And we've got Duck and Cover and pretty good ops. Going to want to move pretty quickly into South Korea and hope to not get caught out of Iran. Since we're holding IP war, we can move with some confidence into Pakistan. All right, so we're going to open with Marshall Plan 3-2, 3-2. And that looks good. And now we headline Marshall Plan. So what are we going to do with ops here? Our ops look good. I'd like to drop Europe fairly quickly, but we do need to do some initial spreading. Knowing that we've got Duck and Cover means we can move into Malaysia. Oh goodness, so we have to deal with decall. So Asia's going to be a bit of a problem. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And where to go for our last one? Well, I guess into Canada. Sorry, Canadian viewers. Sorry to make you the afterthought. And that looks like a good start. Okay, so where's he going to go with decall? Well, Marshall Plan helps us out here because the usual Soviet move into Algeria is not really much of a threat. If I'm him, I got to go South Africa. If he's holding Asia, he could just go, say, Laos and Cambodia, and then play it for instant domination. That actually wouldn't be that bad for us here, because it would let us spread from Iran. You may just put a point into, say, Malaysia and Burma, and then continue with the usual Soviet AR-1 play of cooing in Iran. Oh. We're starting off with a big coup. Oh, goodness. Oh, what a terrible disadvantage for him. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we have a choice to make. He did not coup us out of Iran and has only 1 point in Thailand. So I think the play here is going to be coup Thailand. And man, do we get it or what? Look at that. We do leave ourselves open to another coup in Iran. But our opponent had to give up the China card to get that. So we get Thailand and the China card. And okay, so we'll be able to repair socialist governments. And I think we're going to do that with Duck and Cover. Since we're holding Asian scoring, I think that's going to be the play. Yeah, I feel okay about that. I mean, I would really like to spread out from Iran, but I still think that's the right move. So our opponent is forcing us to play a lot of our high ops cards here at the very beginning. But getting France and Thailand. All right, so he is fighting us on Asia. but I don't really think that's a great play for him. Although, no, I actually think, geez, we could still score Europe for domination. And we could still play one here in case he uses these ComCon points here. Where do we go? Something like this. Or do we, no, you know what, I'm just gonna play Europe. It was a big decision, but it looks like he's fighting us for country count. Okay, so he's gonna give us CIA. Kind of tricky to give us CIA after having played into these African battlegrounds. We know he's got captured Nazi scientists. We know he's got Fidel. We know he's got Olympics. We know he's got Warsaw. Okay, so that's 4. No other scoring cards. Sure, so we'll coup in Angola. Because we get Angola, we also get Zaire. And we fail. Okay, not great. I think our next play is going to have to be, oh no, we could play IP war. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, knowing that he didn't have blockade allows us to play ComCon. I do want to take Laos, but if he fills up India, I might take a 50-50 chance on that. We have a lot of things to do. Although things look promising in Southeast Asia, it's we really don't have a lot going for us in the Middle East, so that's going to be a concern. So interestingly, our opponent played Romania before Independent Reds was played, so that's all right. So he fills up Asia. So the question is, do I know he's got captured Nazi scientists. Do I space Korean War first, or do I go for the 50-50? I think I've got to go for the 50-50. And we get it. So Asia's looking very promising indeed. He'll probably finish by spacing, and we can space Korean War, or maybe just take Lebanon. Maybe we'll take Lebanon. All right, so he events Fidel for his last AR. I think I'm going to take Lebanon, and there's a chance if we draw Nasser for an early presidentless domination in the Middle East, which sounds pretty good. Let's see how it works out. We get Nasser and we get the Middle East, so that's a good start. We also get Asia. We get Suez, US, Japan, 5-year plan, NORAD, Nasser. All right, so he headlines CNS, 2 VPs for space. We get presidentless Dom. And now we're going to get cooed out. I imagine a Panama? No, goes for, oh no, this is horrible for him. Oh, I really feel terrible. What should we do? We'll take South Korea, Afghanistan. I think that's the play. Racking up those points in, oh, I guess there's not a huge rush, is there? I do want to take, wait a minute, what if I go? Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I'm expecting an AR6 play of containment, which will let us space Nasser. All right, plays Warsaw for influence. Okay, so now we've got to play Asia. And let's see what comes up next. All right, we drop Suez. And that gets rid of blockade. I think next we've got to play into Egypt. Let's see here. Here in Egypt, and I guess I think 1 and 2 Costa Rica. That looks like a good play. Or maybe we, oh, there we go, we're gonna do this again. Maybe we space at this point. Let's try that. And we failed in space. So the VP track looks promising, but we do have some problems. We need to move into Egypt. It's going to be our next play. Arab-Israeli war. Oh, we got very lucky there. If we had been forced to lose that, that would have been very bad. Right, so let's play that way. So unless he plays containment, we are going to lose Egypt. All right, so we get Formosa. All right. I think we're going to go, got to take Libya. And let's even things up in, I do want to put a point into Algeria. Okay, I feel okay about that. And now the question is, do we play Nasser or do we play the China card? I think if he gives us containment, we can take it back. All right, so he's spacing defectors to save a victory point. And I think, what do we do with this last point here? I think we'll finish taking Algeria in case decall comes back in the reshuffle. Haven't seen D-style. So, all right, we get de Gaulle, EU, special relationship, Vietnam revolts. We get defectors back, and he doesn't know about that. We also get Sochgov. We get socialist governments, defectors, which might be our headline, NATO, and we get decall. All right, so we're expecting to get purged here. He's got purge, D-style, nuclear test ban. Actually, that is unknown. D-stall, Cambridge 5, which wouldn't really hurt us. UN, containment Romania, plague Romania. Okay, so we're expecting to get purged here. We're going to defectors. Okay, well, either way. Maybe a coup here on Egypt or Panama. All right, so we save risky approach for the coup on that. 3 1s in a row is just the worst. Our opponent is, well, he's just been stymied with terrible, terrible luck. All right, so 1 there. We can go, I mean, knowing that we're going to get Egypt anyway in the mid-war, I think our play is going to be fill up Mexico and take Panama. Israel is still a concern, but I think that's still a good play. The other thing we could have done is evented NATO and played special relationship, but that seems like a ton of ops in turn 3. All right, let's hope our luck holds out. And it doesn't. Okay, so we lose the Korean War. Luckily, we've still really holding a lot of points in Asia. Where to go next? Maybe head towards Saudi Arabia. So if we place like here into Jordan and all right, well, we can threaten to overtake let's see here, maybe play into no, you don't have to worry about decall. We could play into Saharan states and then coup back with EEU, but I'm not sure I want to get involved in a coup war. All right, so 1 point into Jordan. And 1 point into, I guess, South Africa. I'm guessing our opponent doesn't have a lot of scoring cards since he played Cambridge 5 in the headline. So the other option is we could place into Cuba or into Nicaragua and threaten to realign in Cuba. That might be a good AR6 play, unless we're trying to chase mill-ops. But I like taking Saudi Arabia. So that's 3. Oh, okay, so here comes D-style. We knew we had it. Oh, well, the coup in Colombia is looking pretty promising. I was surprised about that. All right, let's see how this goes. It succeeds. So that gets us our mill-ops. We can threaten Venezuela. We also get presence in South America. Not sure that was the right play for our opponent. We're going to look to play Vietnam Revolt in AR6. So we can go 4, maybe if we get the opportunity, take Venezuela with the China card. They also look to event and repair socialist governments. Europe is not looking fantastic. Suez got ditched in the headline. Oh, we get containment early. Okay. Well, that's kind of promising. Oh, wow. Well, let's think about this here. We want to event, let's see, what happens if we, that would let us put, it would give us, give him access to France. And free up 1 point, but that's not very many. All right, so let's do this. Let's event socialist governments under containment. We could have cooed Uruguay with the China card, and then get uncontested access to the southern part of South America. Since we know special relationship is out of the deck, we could place into Spain and Portugal for just a teeny bit of access to brush war protection in Italy. That frees up 1 op. I think for this last op, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 is 1, 2, 3. All right. When we give him Vietnam, we'll be down to even country count. So we are going to have to put 1 point in there, but we can do that maybe in our last action round. Now I think 1 point there. Vietnam will give us 3 usable ops, so we could break Venezuela. Or we could actually, with 3 ops, coup Uruguay and even up country count in Southeast Asia. Wow, okay, that's a surprise. Is he going for country count? Interesting, okay. So not the play we expected, but 1 point, 2 points to even up country count in Europe, and then maybe with our last point, we threaten the realign. Actually, I think with our last point, we take South Africa. I'm guessing he's holding the Europe scoring card. That's my guess here. No, he doesn't. Instead, he gives us India Reds. And we're going to take Romania for adjacency. So maybe he'll take Argentina, and then we finish by spacing. Probably going to space, oh no, maybe event and repair de Gaulle. That's a good use of containment ops. Depending on how he plays, maybe he'll take Argentina. No, all right. Okay, so one option is we coup Nicaragua with the China card, putting us on Asian domination, but I kind of like getting de Gaulle out of my hand, although it would be nice to grab a VP and space. Let's just space him. And we do that. All right, so we get de Gaulle out, get a point for space. South America looks terrible, but Europe would win us the game. So if we add mid-war, we get IP war. And we will bury you. Sadat and the Arab-Israeli War. S. OPEC brush war. Okay, So cards, the only card I think that could deprive us of European domination is, well, let's just check the discard pile. We know de Gaulle and socialist governments are out. Suez would do that, but that would be kind of a strange headline for him. ABM and Suez look like the only two cards that could really cost us. We know we're not going to event OAS. We could event Brush War, but I think that's better after DEFCON drops as well. I think we just headline Europe scoring. And let's see what happens. We have other chances to earn points. We got a 1 and 3 on IP War. Oh, that's the game. All right, well, we got lucky. Our opponent had terrible coup rolls. Well, thanks for watching. That's the end of RTSL. We end RTSL at 6 and 4, so pretty mediocre. But overall, had a great time.